They finally did it! They finally destroyed the last franchise. Kathleen Kennedy and Disney have destroyed Indiana Jones. And now there is nothing left to destroy. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny fulfilled its own prophecy and flopped hard over the weekend, only bringing in $60 million, far less than what was expected.
So the question is, will more heads roll at Disney and Lucasfilm? Or will they double down and keep going down this path?
Indiana Jones and the Flop of Destiny is yet another film that disrespects older, more experienced legacy characters simply because they're men. In the film, we see an older Indiana Jones in 1969 living alone in a sad little apartment in New York City, a far cry from his outing in the original trilogy. The deconstructing of legacy characters isn't new, and we're not seeing a changing of the tide here.
I honestly hate to keep bringing this up, but Top Gun Maverick really knows how to do the aging hero story correctly.
Maverick comes back for one final adventure and teaches the next generation of Top Gun graduates a few old tricks. At no point do they disrespect him. Quite the opposite. They marvel at the knowledge and experience he possesses and brings to the table. But in Indiana Jones and the Dial of Douchebags, everyone disrespects the aging hero, being forced to retire from a job he loves to a sad, lonely life. Indy is shown as a pathetic and nihilistic old man.
In the original trilogy, Indy was a stoic, intelligent, and cunning swashbuckler. Confident and funny in his mannerisms, he was a character that a whole generation could look up to.
And who does Disney bring in for this adventure? Well, it's none other than Mary Sue. Helena, played by Phoebe Waller-Bridge, an actress with the athletic prowess of a retarded elf. Seriously, has Phoebe ever ran even a mile in her life? She was awkward, uncoordinated, and entirely disjointed.
Now, don't get me wrong, Phoebe Waller-Bridge is not a bad actress by any stretch of the imagination. She's proven herself quite capable in Fleabag. She's just entirely miscast here.
This is yet another case of Kathleen Kennedy inserting her narcissistic fat ass into the film. We get it, Kathleen. You're so amazing at everything you do, and you want others to see that. You insert yourself into everything, even places you don't belong, like Disney. Here's a thought. Confident, awesome people don't go around telling everyone how great they are. They just live their lives to their fullest and don't beg for praise like a neglected child out of Oliver Twist.
Think of who your audience is. It's mostly men. It's men who have grown tired of being berated by women to be second-class citizens.
Indiana Jones and the Disaster of Disney is yet another film that treats men poorly simply because they're men. The activists that wrote this movie must not get laid very often. I kind of feel like they hate men because they don't even know how to interact with them. They think they know better. Well, you know where that thought process eventually leads? Being an old single spinster cat lady.
Now, I can't blame the actors. They did the best they could with the bad writing they were given.
As you may have heard in other reviews, the first 15 minutes of the film were actually quite good. The de-aged Harrison Ford was mostly convincing, with the exception of a few scenes where he looked like a character out of a PS3 game. You can tell the producers made sure to keep the opening sequence at night to limit the brightness and focus on Indy's face.
Indeed, the first 15 minutes of the movie actually felt like an Indiana Jones film. But that's where the similarities stopped.
Once the story shifted forward in time to 1969, it really flew off the rails. The shifting tones throughout the film really showcased that this was a film that was absolutely butchered in post-editing. Even the characters and their motivations constantly shifted. Mads Mikkelsen did his best with the shitty script he was given, but even this veteran actor couldn't play this villain well because of how disjointed the script was.
Don't get me wrong, Mads Mikkelsen is quite capable at playing a villain like he did in Casino Royale, and he has great dramatic range as he showed in Star Wars Rogue One.
Mikkelsen played a disillusioned Nazi on a warpath to bring back the good old days. Yet, the numerous plot contrivances had Mikkelsen's Jürgen Voller showing up in moments just because the script needs him to.
It's also clear that the film had no idea what to do with Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
First she's nerdy and geeky, then she's witty and funny, then she's a grifter. This was another clear sign that the film was cut up into a million little pieces in editing, with way too many cooks in the kitchen to concoct this vile sludge. She clearly feels and looks out of her element here, which begs the question of why Disney hired her for this role in the first place.
And what the hell is Antonio Banderas doing in this movie as a side character? His career has really gone downhill since the 90s.
Antonio Banderas used to be a go-to action star with hits like the Mexico trilogy. This was yet another way to shit on older men. Come to think of it, Indiana Jones and the Trash of Destiny never wastes an opportunity to portray male characters as inept, dumb, and awkward. Watching an 84-year-old Harrison Ford traipse from scene to scene is just so painful.
So is it really any wonder why Indiana Jones and the Dial of Ageism is flopping hard at the box office?
People are refusing to watch this film outright because they don't want to sully their memories of a beloved character. Audiences have been burned way too many times. Like the Bud Light VP who didn't know her core audience, Disney has burned its male audience way too many times with their sexist, ageist, and racist movies. So it's no surprise that the film bombed hard. No one wants to pay to be insulted repeatedly.
Now that the first weekend is over and box office receipts are bound to drop, this film is definitely going to lose money as it needs over $900 million in the global box office simply to break even.
Disney keeps firing people, but just not enough of the activists that have infiltrated its ranks. They're not firing the activists that led to yet another flop. So until Disney fires Kathleen Kennedy, this will unfortunately continue to happen.
What are your thoughts on this? Let me know down below in the comments. If you like this video, please hit the like button and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you dear viewers in the next video.